putting Satan on trial, and I thought we could just go through some of the things that you guys have come up with, anything that you think might be useful. And I also wanted to clarify, please do not read the entirety of Paradise Lost.
No, I
want to
didn't
make
do
sure
that.
everybody got that. I got a few rumors that was
there, and then
out
I was
there.
on group chat, Andy was like, I don't have the book. And then Bethany goes, how much of this do we have to read? And Andy's like, she goes, what chapters? And everyone's like, what do you mean chapters? And she goes, oh, right, sorry, I was looking at something else. It's just the whole thing. And I'm like, oh.
No, yeah. Bethany did, and she may read the whole thing, which is, I mean, that's great for her, but you do not have to do that.
I might, but not like during right now.
Yeah. Yes, reading just book 9. I do recommend reading book 9. That is when the actual event occurred. The summaries at the beginning of each book are useful, or spark notes are very useful. So make sure. Yes, and then of course pull out from, if you had Cliff Blair's class and you still have those notes, and if you don't have those notes, if you do things like throw them out in the semester, which you shouldn't do, but that's a side tangent, you should wait to the end of the year or save them. I still have stuff from my high school classes, but
It's just kind of hard to apply what we learned exactly.
yes, so that's what I want to talk about today, but let me finish what I was going to say. Is just, if somebody is in that situation where they don't have them, please feel free to share notes, make photocopies. There's nothing illegal about that. It's not like I'm grading you on your notes. So don't hoard what you have. Okay, feel free to share. All right, so let's try to no hoarding. All right, I think this works. Have other teachers been using this?
Yeah.
Okay.
She can, this is the guy. I can find the darker green cap, so it's off her mouth. So if it's a little weak, that's fine.
No, I just want to make sure I wasn't
I just brought
it describing what I'm putting on you. Alrighty, so anything that people have so far on whether or not Satan is guilty?
Just a little bit.
Okay, good. Rebecca, we'll start with you. What are some of your favorite? Let's go ahead and do an affirmative. In judicial essays, it's what does he call it in the book? I don't have my book with me. Who cares?
It's too light. I just like Annie.
Did you make it in?
No, I just want
I didn't like
It's I know. It's
I cannot.
Can we put
Sorry,
this just helps me. Can we put what we're trying to argue at the top?
yes.
So it kind of makes it worse.
An affirmative means he is guilty, and then negative means
He is
not.
so think
Also-
prosecution, defense. I'll write that too.
Okay. I'm just trying. It messes me up because guilty sounds
Yeah,
bad. Yeah. Ugh.
So it's affirmative for what
Can
you
we
are
put it as-
arguing?
I know you put
So
it as-
affirmative is yes, he's guilty, negative is no, he's not guilty. I like your sparkly shoes.
So do we have to have this paper as a guideline of Satan on trial? Literally, we have to mention reasonable doubt and stuff, or
No.
by responsibility and reasons why he's.
You can do it that way. You can put it at like God's trial, essentially, and then you don't need to worry about reasonable doubt, right? Because we're using the Bible. We aren't allowed to question that testimony. Okay. So don't put him on like an American trial. We're gonna think a little bit differently for this one. Good question though. I would much rather see your refutations focused on the arguments for the other side rather than just the kind of quibbly type arguments that are very effective that defense lawyers use. So many people get off or are not convicted because of little things like how the police officer arrested them, things like that. I think there's so much in this initial question that you can pull a refutation just from the ideas themselves. All right. So whether Satan is guilty for the fall of man, affirmative, guilty, negative, not guilty, prosecution, defense. So here you can think Satan, here you can think God, or alternatively Adam and Eve, anybody who wants to shift the blame or put it all on Satan. So let's come up with some ideas. Some of the things that we would use to say Satan is guilty. Rebecca.
Well, he clearly wanted that to happen. It wasn't like an accident and it just, oops, I made man fall. He intended to do it, it was premeditated, and he carried it out.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I do like about Paradise Lost is you get, I think it's book 2, where he and Beelzebub are talking, and he's just like, my goal from now on is to destroy anything that God creates. So you can really use that, and that's also, you can find that in Scripture as well, if you want to stick with Scripture. So the motive is clear. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have a negative one.
Yep.
So, like what Pastor Blair was kind of saying, I pulled this from his notes about how it was Adam's job to keep the holy place holy, and it was his job to not let evil or sin into the garden, and like he failed in that sense.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, let me just finish up with Lexi. You know, that also can be found in the Bible. Is the role of man, particularly a man, is protection, right?
Do you know, like what section this was that he talked about this? Because
Yes.
he might have like a Bible verse.
It was anthropology.
Yeah, it was
Is that's ringing a bell, and I don't think I have his. I'm almost positive I left his syllabus at home, but I will bring it next time, and we can confirm that.
Because I have my
anthropology
notes right here.
is-
I should send that. I should send my notes to Elson too.
Yes, we
Okay.
should do that. Let's, if
Okay.
you can do that, that would be great. Payman.
Was the recommended chapter or book for Paradise Lost book 9?
Book 9 is when the fall actually occurs. What I just referenced with the discussion between Satan and Beelzebub, I think that is book 2. I think. I didn't bring that book either. But regardless, you could just spark notes it, talk about that conversation. But he falls and he's in hell and he's going, what? Beelzebub was crying, oh, this is horrible, I hate it here. And Satan's like, no, that's when I talked about making a hell out of heaven and a heaven out of hell. It's like constructing their own universe that the mind is strong enough that you can wreak havoc and make being sinful being good. So, Satan distorts everything. It's that kind of idea. And another good option is the Screw Tape Letters, if you have that book.
I have
Good
that if
stuff in
anyone
there.
wants to read
Yeah,
it.
they're off.
Yes, but there might be some useful elements in there. Madeline.
I was just gonna say for the affirmative,
Mhm.
I had one, it was, since the garden was pure and everything and everyone in it, or everything basically, Eve would not have been worried about deceit, so it wasn't truly fair to tempt Eve.
Okay.
Right, I came up with that too.
Let's see. How can I think how to summarize that?
Can I say it in a different way?
Can you come up with a different way? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
You're right. I'm just trying to
So,
not use my whole whiteboard.
I'm just gonna say it. Don't write down exactly
Yeah.
what I say. But Eve knew no sin, so she couldn't recognize that he was lying. Like sin wasn't even a
Yes.
possibility in her brain.
Yeah.
Right, Can I
Deceiving
review?
of the innocent.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's get this side. Yes, there's deceiving and Eve. Eve did. It wasn't even sin. She has no knowledge of good and evil.
Right.
Let's leave it there. That's good. All right.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna leave it as Eve.
Eve.
You guys can remember that. Okay.
Wait, but I understand that. But how is that valid if like God told them, like
Told Adam.
don't eat of that? Like they knew better.
So he did give them a rule. So
And he said, "The day you eat of it, you will surely die." And they knew what death was, and they knew they'd be punished. Yeah, because our Sunday school teacher, I don't know if this helps, but he thought that there was animals did die before the fall, because when he said, "The day you eat of it, you will die," and they knew what that meant. They weren't like, "Oh, what's death? Like what'll happen to us?" So we
Right.
could see that somehow around.
right, and if you have an old age version
I know some
of
people
Earth,
don't
then you
believe
have
that,
to. Yeah, well, I think you can also argue that they would understand what death is simply because they were intelligent human beings, and so
Yeah.
conceptually they understand things, and that definitely would come on this side. That Adam and Eve conceptually understood things, even if they didn't have the knowledge. Another example, somebody said once that they used for ask my mom why she let us read whatever we wanted to read. We would just go to the library and pick out whatever we wanted, and she said, well, a mom questioner was like, well, don't you want to protect your kids? And mom was like, no, I trust their judgment. If they're reading something inappropriate, they'll stop, and it's true. I picked up a book on Louis the Sun King and was like, okay, I'm not going to read that one. Yeah, we think things are bad now. Woo. No. Anyway, but the mom countered with well, I think of it like money. Bank tellers only touch real money. So when they come across counterfeit money, they know it because they have no experience with it. So there's two sides of that argument. You can say that you know something because you have the knowledge of good and evil, or you can say you know something because just you have a knowledge of one side. Therefore, when something comes that isn't there, you will know it by contrast. So you can kind of go two ways
so,
there.
Like, I'm just saying, like, whatsoever, they, like, knew what that was, and they knew they'd be punished.
Yes,
They knew
yeah.
enough to know not to.
And that definitely comes on this side. Like they know, just like
And if they have, like,
Hold on.
oh,
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead, Cameron. You go finish up. If they have,
So if you are arguing that, like, they have the intelligence to, like, know what death is, like, without, like, experiencing that, then if they're, like, perfect, don't you think she's kind of smart enough to, like, not trust him?
yes, I mean I do.
'Cause, like,
Eve
I
was
feel
the
like
most
that is-
intelligent. I think Adam and Eve were the most intelligent, and beautiful humans we will ever know.
'Cause
So
I
yeah.
feel like that is a valid point, but it's, like, kind of just like, victimizing her, being like, oh, she didn't, like, know what she was doing.
And if you end up picking that side, that's exactly what you'll say. But you can make a valid argument on that side too. Cayman.
I was just gonna say, like, an argument for, I don't. Anyway, it was basically that God told Adam and not Eve because he commanded Adam first and then made Eve, and didn't have any conversation about that to Eve. So basically, Adam should have told Eve, but that's a whole other thing. But that,
Yeah. But you could use that one almost with both of these. You could say Satan's guilty because it wasn't Eve's fault. She didn't have the understanding that she needed to have because of Adam, right? So you could use that here, but you could also use that here and say, Adam failed in his job, therefore Eve wasn't adequately protected and prepared, right? Do you see how you could use that one on both sides? I'll put it here in the middle. Now, Milton takes a different view on that, that it's Eve's idea. Eve's idea to split, and that she does know. So if you follow the Paradise Lost argument, it's really more Eve's fault than Adam's fault, because he's a man. No, just kidding. Adam's failure to communicate to Eve. So I'm going to write that one here too. Eve's idea of splitting, taking leadership, and this one's found in Milton.
My Sunday school teacher would say that if that's true, then right there was the fall of man.
Yes. Yes, and so I think that is actually true. I don't actually adhere to Milton's interpretation of this act, but I am sort of slight feminist, I guess. But I think that it is true to say that this whole event was the fall. So to take just the actual moment where the apple is eaten is probably not what the Bible intends us to interpret. The fall is an extended event, and we're out of time. Go ahead, Rebecca. We'll finish this up.
Well, God is just and he cursed Satan, so therefore Satan is guilty.
Okay, another great one here. God curses Satan. He doesn't make mistakes. That's a good place to end.
He kind of also cursed us.
Yeah, okay, fine. We'll get there. All right, so if we have more time, we will come back to this next week. I don't think we're going to have time next week. We'll see. Depends on how long the presentations are. If not, we will finish that up the following week along with the poetry. So just kind of housekeeping. You're dismissed if you want to be dismissed.
both Satan
What's
and
the
Adam.
Yeah, could you,
So
or
if you
just
say
say
Satan,
Satan,
but still Satan's guilty.
Yeah, so we're
Say
not-
argue that he's guilty.
No, because the Adam.
But maybe you reach the conclusion there's somebody else that needs to be on trial after this.
Sure, unlike that, because
So
Calvin
you
says
can't
that
use
it's
the
Satan's fault,
And then
Satan
the one
wasn't
that says
guilty.
we may
Because
as
he
a
doesn't
group
And I'm not-
with
I'm
regards to
not-
God's
Ah.
salvation will not eat of this
So
I
much
found a great
time
source,
to
and I might send it.
understand that I literally have like a
Summary
word
of Calvin
Yeah.
that
and
represented a whole point.
and fall.
Or like
Six
I had-
pages was
Okay.
I'll try to find it.
Yeah, you just send it. I don't come across that, but it'd be helpful. Yes, I mean, I am reformed, so I definitely tend to be on the Adam and Eve side of this. And this was, this was their choice. But even Calvin is a little extreme there because most
Yes.
reformed would say that Adam and Eve
Yeah.
had free will, that they're the only human beings that have free will, or that had it at one point. They were born without sin, therefore they could choose good or evil. The rest of us are not able to.
Free will is a difficult subject.
But that's really what this essay is all about.
I know.
To Canada.
It was good.
Yeah, how was it? Was it good?
Yeah, we went dog sledding and the
Oh,
whole
neat.
city.
Oh, so cool. Oh,